This is Kaku. Plays it in the direction of Ryan White at the edge of the 18. Here's White, the man with the Red Bull. Go! Scores! It took a deflection off the post, and the Red Bulls have the lead.
All right, Red Bulls last night tying Vancouver 2-2. That was an own goal. Brian White also got credit for another. We're rejoined by Steve Cangialosi, calls the Devils games, of course, and also calls Red Bulls games here on our family of networks. Steve, thanks for sticking around. Great to have you back here to talk some soccer. You look at the Red Bulls' big picture now. Last year, they make the Eastern Conference Final. This year, 5 wins. They have 3 draws and 5 losses. How would you assess how the season's gone so far?
Not where it needs to be, but there are reasons for that. You're talking about a team where I thought there would be a little bit of a hangover. This was a team last year that set a Major League Soccer record for points in a season with 71. So point-wise, it's the greatest season that MLS has witnessed in its 24-year history. However, this is a country where we value playoffs, and playoffs define champions. You have to understand, Bill, all around the world, whether it be England, Italy, Spain, Germany, the regular season champion is recognized as the champion of that country. That does not exist here in this hemisphere, whether it be Mexico or the United States. There's a little bit of a chip on the shoulder of this team, and I think what happened on Sunday, a 1-0 win over Atlanta, kind of drove home what is now the team's biggest rivalry. Because you have Atlanta, which is, in soccer terms here, the shiny new toy on the block in Major League Soccer. In their second year, they win the league championship, while the Red Bulls, prior to that, the Metro Stars, have been at it for 23 years and have come up empty each time. So you can understand the envy there. They played a knockdown, drag-out regular season series last year, and the Red Bulls were upset in the playoffs by Atlanta. That still sticks in their craw. With that said, they haven't been healthy enough this year. Bradley Wright Phillips is their key striker. He's been injured. There's a lot that they're unraveling now, and they're dealing with the loss of maybe their most valuable player last year, Tyler Adams, who went to go play professionally in Germany.
Now, you referenced the Atlanta rivalry. Specifically, what happened on Sunday that may have notched this up yet even more?
Well, Hector Villalba of Atlanta, Kemar Lawrence, one of the Red Bulls' top players, were involved in a little bit of a skirmish towards the end. So here's the foul. Now, Kemar Lawrence, for those uneducated about the Red Bulls, is perhaps the elite player at his position, not only in our league, Major League Soccer, but in all of CONCACAF, the region. Basically, he's a very tough defender to beat. Hector Villalba of Atlanta plays on that side all throughout the game. He's getting extremely frustrated. He got a little bit verbal, and therefore Kemar thought, no, you're not going to steal the stage in the waning seconds of the match. I'm going to give it right back at you, and thus the rock of you're being a baby. So these teams meet again July 7th, right after the Women's World Cup final, by the way, before a national audience. What you saw at the end there is liable to rear itself again.
Now, we mentioned, Steve, the Red Bulls record. They played 13 games. They've scored 19 goals. What's been is it the problem on offense because of the injuries and also the fact you mentioned Tyler Adams went to Germany, or what's the problem?
Adams was more valuable on the defensive end of the field, but you're talking about a key player that links your defense with your forwards, and he had some bite, and he was valuable in so many ways. You're talking about a 19-year-old kid who covered more ground than anybody on the team, but he also had that other intangible of he was the guy who I think got a lot of the other players on the team ready to play. He was vocal. It was very easy to feed off his energy. The offense, I think, as we move forward, is going to be there. The thing about this league, Bill, it's very hard until you get to the latter stages of the season to really find any rhythm because you're dealing with injuries. You're dealing with a more compact schedule now in Major League Soccer, like the Wednesday game last night.
I want to ask you about that because the lineup has had to be varied more than it normally would because of the number of games over a short period of time. How has that impacted the lineup that's been taking the field?
You basically are saying, how much can I tax my players? Do I have a guy who can play 180 minutes over 5 days? Do I have a guy who can only play 100 minutes? And compounding that even further, this is a Gold Cup year and Copa America, which is a big tournament in South America. The Red Bulls are going to lose 5 key players to those 2 tournaments. The league continues to play, except for a very brief break. They're going to lose Aaron Long, their best defender, Derek Etienne Jr., Kemar Lawrence, who we showed, and 2 other players to national team duty. You have to fight through that and basically survive until you get your whole team together.
And Steve, talking about international soccer, it's a huge summer, the Women's World Cup in France. Can anybody beat Team USA?
Yeah, that's possible. They're the favorites, and rightly so. I think what we have to look at, United States 8-5. The last time I saw it was 3-1, and I thought that was only a couple of days ago, Bill, but okay, I understand the serious money is going on the United States women, and perhaps rightly so, because they are the #1 ranked team, and not only that, they're the defending World Cup champion. But what you have to remember, the Women's World Cup, women's international game, is a touch different from the men in that you could actually say the U.S. women did not win the last major tournament for women in FIFA soccer. That was Germany, because the gold cup, or rather the Olympic gold medal won at the 2016 Olympics in Rio, was won by Germany, not the United States. The United States bowed out, did not even medal in that tournament. Their stiffest competition, I think, will come from France, but rightly so. This is a United States team with, I think, 5 players with more than 100 caps. Some of the familiar names, Carly Lloyd, New Jersey native, Megan Rapinoe. They should rightly be favored to win this tournament. I know they expect to.
Steve, thanks so much. Great stuff on the Devils and the Red Bulls and the entire soccer picture. Thanks so much for dropping by. For more great videos from the MSG 150, check out right there. And remember, our show is on Monday through Thursday, 8 to 10:30 p.m. on MSG Network and MSG Go.